All right. We are live.
We live? Ew, we're live. Don't worry, it's not just me today.
Good morning, and I think we were going to say good morning, quilting friends.
Good morning, friends of Cut Up and Sew.
Good
Isn't
morning.
that what you said?
That works too.
That was a good catchphrase.
That's probably better.
You get what we're saying. Good morning, everybody.
Cutting crew.
The cutting crew. I love it. All right, let me find this live thing because I love being able to see who jumps on so I can say good morning. We got a bunch of stuff out here to talk about. But
Yeah, it's really entertaining up here today. I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the color.
Yeah.
So there was a gentleman who came in and he was looking for he wanted like alterations done, and he came in and he's like, it's like somebody threw up a rainbow in here. And I was like, what a compliment, dude. Like in a weird way, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was like, that's fantastic.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
right.
like that.
Puking rainbows over here. Cut Up and Sew. All right, I'll find that in a second once it comes on. So where do we start? Oh boy. Okay. Okay, let's knock this out. We're gonna talk about it until it starts, until we're sold out. I'm never gonna stop, man. We're really close.
It starts in like in a week or so. We should be getting our kits.
Yeah. That's true. It starts, and that's Tony. You're hearing in the background. She's here with us this morning as well. She just had a birthday weekend. Happy birthday to her. Queen of Diamonds. I won't get into it too much. You've probably heard all about it. Hopefully you've already signed up. If not, we do have a few spots left, a few kits available still. So this is happening very, very soon. Literally, we should start getting them like any day.
Right, exactly.
It's going to be awesome. It's EPP, English paper piecing. Tony has done a sample of one of the blocks. Starts in June officially, right?
We're starting in June because we want to make sure.
We're starting in June. You can read it here. But I'm excited about this. It's so awesome. And I think people are getting excited to try or at least grow their EPP skills and knowledge.
We're offering the virtual class every month too.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, we have people who have signed up through us who are not here locally because we are offering it virtually. So every month, Tony's going to do a lecture demo, some instruction. We're going to meet and talk about it. Of course, we got our Tula Pink Club the first Saturday of every month. It is the second Saturday of next month.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. Just because we have a charity sewing event. But I'm excited about this. So I'm just going to throw it in your face until you're tired of it or until you sign up. You going to do it?
Do what?
She's
No.
working on hers.
I know. We talked about it before. So I'm excited about that, though. And since we're talking about Tula, hopefully you got to see the little video I did with my son Casper, which I thought was adorable, even though he called everything lollipops and just all he would say was lollipop. So it was really, he used to get excited about the fabric with me. We did an unboxing and he'd be like, lions are cool. And now he's like, there's a camera. I'm going to show off a little bit. You know what I mean? So he thought it was a lollipop party is what he called it. But as everyone else is making videos, I did as well. We've got the new Tula line in, but we not only have the Everglow, we have the entire neon collection. And if you could, I think they could see that all right.
Yeah.
Right.
You want me to zoom in?
Sure.
We're practicing.
What's amazing about Tula is that, let's see, this line and these two pieces here, the darker ones, this is the snake, and then this is the owls, are not a part of her new lines. But look how awesome. I mean, she's a genius. Her color combinations, they all work. And they're just absolutely stunning together. I am more of a purple, teal, turquoise, those hot pink sort of colors. But I'm obsessed with this lion. And I use the word majestic every time. And I can't think of a better word to describe it. It's so pretty. And it's just amazing. So obviously, we have Tula. We are Team Tula. We've got Tula Club. We have as much of the old stuff that's available we have. I do have to get some solids in still. People were asking, so that's coming. But we're Team Tula, right? Mm-hmm. All things Tula.
That's right. If you want Tula, this is your headquarters.
This is the spot. Mm-hmm. I mean, and people are like, yeah, I know it's Tula. Well, do you know though? do you really know? We've got it all arranged in our shop to where it's just colorways now. It's not like her new neons, because the stripes next to the polka dots, all the neons did not look great together.
But when it's spread out.
When you put it in colorways and mix her old collections with the new ones, you can really see the overall picture.
And I love the fact that, you know, she's got wonderful colors. I mean, it's just, they're just so bright. I have a quilt that I did with her colors hanging in my sewing room, and it's just so bright and cheerful. And I must admit, I'm not as cool as these animals are, and they all are. They're not, I don't buy them. I don't know what to do with them. If I were doing something that for somebody that I knew would like that, then I'd buy it. But
Sure.
just generally speaking, it's not what I buy.
It's not really your style.
It's not my style.
Yeah.
And but they're beautiful. But the other thing is that so many of her fabrics don't include that, and they're just wonderful fabrics anyway. And the cut, like Josh said, they all go together. They work really well. There's some really wonderful fabrics there, and you just kind of have to look through them and find the ones that work for you, and it will be cheerful in your sewing room.
It will, and there's a bazillion different colorways that play off of each other so well. So it's just really cool to see them all together and take little hints of certain colors that you like and bring them out. Like, and you are good at that. It's just that maybe, sure, you don't want to fussy cut the line and put that in the middle of your quilt.
Yeah.
But
maybe
a lot
someday,
of people do.
You just never know.
Yeah. So anyway, obviously we got Tula. I just wanted, in case you haven't seen it in person, it really is. I don't even know if it does justice on this. It's insane in person, and the neons they're bright.
They're bright,
and they're fun and they're funky. So come and check it out.
Be a great quilt for like a child during the day, not when you want them to sleep.
Well, I don't know. There's a little hippo that's really cute.
So is the giraffe.
And the giraffe's
They're
cute.
all awesome. They're all awesome.
Good morning, Linda. Let's see. I love this line. I know. I think, to be honest with you, this is the most hype, and Tula usually has hype behind anything, but this one, holy cow.
Yeah.
People are like making little videos showing it that I didn't think carried Tula. So, because I think there's been a lot of buzz about this one, and rightfully so. It's awesome.
It's awesome. And she is such a gifted artist. And if you've never watched any of her YouTube videos, she's totally engaging. And I watched this one where she was getting ready to go to a retreat, and she was showing how she packed. Well, you know, to me, that sounds, if you just listen to what it's about, that's like the most boring thing you could ever imagine. But I watched the whole thing because she is so good and she is so engaging.
Very methodical too.
Very
Like she's all thought out and everything's planned, and her like books of thread that match the. I'm like, okay, all right.
And she's just gifted. I mean, there's just no doubt about
Well,
it.
I love a designer that actually draws like the sketches from start, and then it comes to life in this. So. All right, you get it. We love Tula, and we got Tula. And I only put these here because I don't want you guys to forget. Everybody has, not everybody. A lot of people have AccuQuilt and they forget they have it, or they don't use it. Use it. It's amazing. It's an amazing product, and we have a humongous selection. Joann is a proponent of AccuQuilt. In fact, we've talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
And it's been a few weeks since we brought it up, so this one I only brought out because it seems to be the one that everybody wants, which blows my mind. And I realize now, if you've got kids or grandkids, there's a book called Llama Llama Red Pajama. And apparently this is why everybody wants the llama dye. And it is super cute, but when they were like, yeah, for the quilt show, you should get a lot of llamas. I'm like, no, really. But, no, llamas. I'm like, okay. And we sold out of llamas. And flamingos, I get it, you know. And the cubes, if you are just starting with AccuQuilt, the cube, in my opinion, is the way to go.
Me too. I totally agree.
You save a lot of money, which we all like doing, but you get a selection, and the stuff that comes with it, it really allows you to build off of that, right? I mean,
exactly. So the cube, you can make all kinds of quilts. You can use it on so many of your quilts, and in making different shapes, whether you're making stars or whatever. And it just is so transferable to so many things. So it's a little expensive, but it's well worth the price.
It is. It's a great investment. If you're a quilter, it's going to save you so much money.
Exactly.
And so much time. And frustration, probably less curse words.
I was amazed. I've been quilting for a long time, and my quilting technique is usually pretty good. And I thought, I don't really need that. But one day, somebody challenged me to use it. And so I actually used it, and I've got a ton of these at home. And I actually used it, and I was so amazed with how how well everything came together and how easy it was to work with them made a big difference in just the ease of working with things. And if you want some place to start, the 8-inch block is a great starting place.
It's the most popular.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it. And they have a 4-inch. But remember, when you're getting the blocks and when you're looking at the dies online, an 8-inch block is not an 8-inch finished anything.
Right.
The actual die itself is 8 inches. So this like finishes, it's a 4-inch finished square, amongst other things. But just remember that if you're calling in and ordering and you want an 8-inch finished square, it's not the 8-inch die. It's the bigger. There's a 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12.
Right.
So.
And
it's awesome. And call if you have questions, or come in. Actually, better yet, no, don't even. Well, you can call if you know what you're talking about and you just want to order something. But we have it set up so that you can play with it. You can actually see it in person, and we price match. I mean, not to get too infomercial, but I mean, literally everybody goes to AccuQuilt.com or Amazon because it's cheaper. Well, not anymore. But honestly, they gave us the ability to price match, and so that's the whole point of come in, touch it, feel it, and then get the same cheap price.
Yeah, and if you come in, then there's somebody here who can help you just really narrow down the size that you really want and really give you some good information on if you're wanting to do something a certain thing, then they can say, okay, that's the block you need. The other thing I wanted to mention, I know this sounds really nerdy, but if you like to do applique and you actually like to turn your edges, you can. What I do with these is I use something called AppliQuick, which is an interfacing that I put underneath my my applique pieces, and then I turn around that piece. So what I do is, if I were going to make this llama thing, which I actually think is kind of cute, I would put my AppliQuick on the board and cut the figures out in AppliQuick and then turn the edges around that. So it makes it kind of, if you're an applique person, you can still do this and turn your edges as opposed to just doing a raw edge. And so you can do either way.
Machine embroidery.
Or machine embroidery.
Well, because it comes with
They come with the embroidery files,
Yeah.
which is what's really cool. Almost everything that's a applique, I guess, comes with an embroidery file, which is really cool. It's just, AccuQuilt's awesome. And it can be overwhelming because there's so much. I mean, there's just a lot of options. And if you look at the catalog, you're like, I mean, there's a lot. So
if
call
you
us,
make a lot
come
of
in, let's
quilts,
play.
it's a great thing to have.
Absolutely. So, reminder, AccuQuilt. I don't know where to put this. I'll let you take it. Tula's prettier. Linda, I think, just mentioned, well, first of all, good morning, Janet. Good morning, Dee. Good morning, Joy. Good morning, Barbara. Awesome. We got a whole crew here.
YouTube watchers too.
Love the quilt behind you. I assume you're talking about this quilt, Linda. So we might as well jump into it. This is coming very, very soon. Tony pieced all this together. And this is one of the new Jason Yinner, The Sun, the Moon, and the Stars. It's awesome. This border print is what first caught my eye when we were looking at it with the rep. And then I started looking at all the collection, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And it's a lot of fun. This is a large quilt. We will be offering pre-orders. I think we're gonna have the yardage, obviously, but if you want to get a kit, Tony, right, where we're happy to make one for you. If you want to make this exact quilt, in other words, we can make that happen for you. So feel free to call. We can put your name down. We'll have the pricing up. We'll try to get it done today, actually. But I'm excited about this. And it is a really pretty quilt. And the line is just cool.
Yeah, and I'm sure that from the video there, you cannot even begin to appreciate the detail in the fabrics. They're just beautiful.
Yeah, they stand out all like alone. They do. I mean, it's a cool line. But this border print, Jason Yinner knocked it out of the park. And then behind me, let's see if I can move here. You can highlight the booty.
You need to split the Tula because right now it looks like he's sitting on top of this.
We're offering modesty for our younger viewers.
There you go.
And you can see all my drinks here. I've got like a plethora of drinks. Yeah, this is, we talked about I think I had the sailboat up last time. So I'm just going to keep talking about these. It's legit kits. We met them at the Lakeland show. We've got the patterns, and there is a, I don't know if the camera can see this. Thank you, Vanna. We have the front of Michelangelo, of David, Michelangelo's David, coming soon, and it is just fun. It is cool. It's foundation paper piecing, so you can use your sewing machines.
Yes.
And we're not doing we're not doing kits because we want you to choose your own colors. We can help you. But I think everybody's going to want a different colorway.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know it looks daunting, right? It looks like a lot of work. In fact, at Java with Josh, we talked about this and all the options, because at the show they got clever and the little leaf was Velcro, which was really fun. And they put like a Santa hat and all sorts of stuff. So it was really cool. But I just love legit kits. I just love their stuff. They create these and they're just cool. The geometric look. They're just awesome. So I'm going to keep showcasing them until you guys come and buy them all.
I can't wait
Would
to
they
see
like
somebody put this together.
a sew along where they're working on theirs in a pattern?
Oh, Tony says, would you like a sew along? Well, I love that. And so anytime anybody wants a hands-on, if we're only offering a quick demo, we can make it happen for the most part. I mean, that's what's nice about having Tony and Joann and other educators here that are adaptable. We would be happy to do a sew along. Well, that'd be fun, actually. It'd be fun. So anyway, this is really cool. We've got, there's a bunch of them. A sailboat, there's a cool skull, there's a bird, there's a rose, there's a cat. Your cat's coming. So I'm excited. So very cool. I don't know if people are going to jump all over this or not, because I think they're afraid it's a lot of work.
And that's why I mentioned a sew along.
But yeah, but here's the thing. I'm sorry, but they look at this and they go, that looks like so much work. I'm like, nobody has said anything about that.
Yeah, that was a lot.
That's a lot of work too. But everybody's like, oh, but I get it. Their brain can go, oh,
Yeah.
it's piecing.
The difference is you can see what this is.
Right.
This one you can't really see those. So a sew along would be awesome. Do you have art now? I've seen the sailboat. I've seen this one. Are there any that are simpler or less put together?
The sailboat is probably the
Easiest
least
to do.
amount of work. And mind you, if you don't want, for example, these to be different, if you don't want this little guy, you leave it out. You know, you can make it the same color. Technically, it's like how would you break it down? What did I call it? Like a
Prism?
Yeah, but it's almost like a paint by number.
Oh, color by number.
You know, like it's all broken out for you, and you're just putting the colors where you want. It's really fun. It's like in my mind, it's like a collage quilt concept where you're kind of piecing it all together. So sure, there's a bunch of cutting.
And that's not a problem.
Good rotary cutter and easy peasy. And then it's fun. And then you got to think all these in here. Yeah, there's a lot of little pieces, but look at the end result.
Yeah. And with paper piecing, for foundation piecing, it's pretty easy to do.
Is it?
Just, it's not a.
And there's color charts, I'm sure, in the patterns.
There is. I mean, there's extensive instructions, and then the newspaper is the actual pattern. So it's all there. It's gonna be cool. So I would love to do a sew along. That'd be cool. All right. Good morning, Pamela. Good morning, Patricia, Michelle, Joy, Janet. I don't know if I said good morning to Janet already, but so anyway, excited about that stuff. Excited about Tula. Don't forget about AccuQuilt. Before we jump into tips and tricks, this is my notion of the week.
Aren't they beautiful?
So here's what's funny. Yes, they are beautiful. I just love the color. I know. We have them in two sizes. I didn't bring the other size, but one's like a
Gel pen.
well, one's a ballpoint, like
It's a gel pen.
a gel pen,
And that one's a marker.
and this is like a marker, right? Okay, so it's a different size tip. But what's awesome about them, and I was skeptical, they have erasers on the end. The eraser works okay. I don't love the eraser. I mean, it's all right. But we had a piece of fabric sitting in front of our display over there, and someone had gone, oh, and they just drew on it. It was set up, maybe it looked like kind of it was there for that. It was not. And so Maria's like, don't get mad. Well, she took it over here, hit the iron, completely gone. I was like, oh, amazing. Because I wasn't sure. You hear about pens working sometimes, and so I was skeptical. They worked awesome. So
I love
every color you can possibly think of. You know, it's funny, except for white. And people always want white, and white is the first pen to always get sold out and on back order.
Well,
So
you'd think that yellow would.
I'm sure it would work
And
fine.
there's gray in the other kind too. Which
Yeah.
I've been
There's
wearing.
gray. Okay, cool. So
Yeah, so there's stuff there to use on your darker fabrics.
yeah. Well, these are great. And we saw it firsthand. The heat actually took it off of a white, literally solid white fabric. So it was great. So,
Okay, awesome.
do I got anything else hiding? No. Okay, then I will shut up and let you talk for a little bit.
Okay.
What are we talking about? What are
Well,
we doing?
the last week and this week, we're talking about borders, just some interesting borders, something out of the ordinary. I love playing in borders, and I used to call borders a playground because you could do something different than you did in your in the rest of the quilt. And last week, I showed the basic Seminole piecing of putting these borders on. And this is pretty much how this has turned out. Now, this is unfortunately still not finished. This is a quilt in search of a bigger size. But you can see how these kind of centered on the sides and made sort of an interesting little addition to the quilt. And so that was that border. So this week,
You're intentionally not finished because each week we're building to show you the process. This is all planned, Joann.
well, it's working, but but I will say I'd like to see these finished because I'm tired of them on my design wall. But anyway, so then this week I'm going to do something a little different. And so this week we're going to do this. And this particular one is, you can see it has kind of this angle to it, sort of a diamond shape to it. And it makes this particular strip right here is a great one for a Christmas quilt because what do you see there is a candy cane. And you could always kind of applique a little hook on the top and make an actual candy cane, or just do the whole thing in red and white. And so in order to do this, you're going to start out making a strip set. And with a normal strip set, you would bring your strips together, and you would put them together end to end like this and sew them with a 1/4 inch seam. Well, with this particular strip set, in order to get that diamond shape, you're going to offset it. So these strips are cut at 2.5. And usually what I do is I cut a width of fabric 2.5 strip, or use a jelly roll, whichever you want. And then I cut it in half because it's just easier to deal with. And so you offset your next strip by 2 inches. And the reason for that is because when you're offsetting it the amount of space that the strip will finish. So a 2.5 inch strip will finish at 2 inches. So you offset it 2 inches. So 2 inches, 2 inches, and you just alternate. And if you were using a strip set from your jelly roll, then you would just use a variety of fabrics. So because I have just too many of these brown and blue quilts, I made a strip set for another quilt that's going to be like this. And here it is with the strips all sewn together, and you can see where they're offset on Josh's side, and they're sewn together with a 1/4 inch seam. You can press your seams all in the same direction. On the red and white, I did press it all towards the red because there's so much contrast there. You'd see the red underneath the white, but normally you can just press everything in the same direction. And it really doesn't matter. You're not going to be matching up anything or having to nest any seams. So it really doesn't matter what direction you press it in, just as long as it's pressed. So I have this pressed. Now we can move that over there.
Just move it.
So now what we're going to do is we have it offset. And the reason we have it offset, and we're not sure this is going to work, but we're going to try. We're going to lay this along a 45-degree line. Now on all of your cutting mats, you have some lines that go from one end of the mat to the other. There's usually at least 2. There's one that's 45 degrees and there's one that's 60. You want to make sure you put your you want to put your edge right along the 45-degree line. And if you can probably do it so that it just matches.
Can they see that all right? I know we don't have an over, we're working on it. We're going to get an actual over top, so which is cool.
Yeah,
but
so.
I don't want to keep zooming in and out.
No, I get it.
Okay.
I think hopefully you guys can see that, and I think you're describing it very well. So feel free to raise your hand if you have any questions.
Okay.
Don't raise your hand.
Sir, I
Leave a
think
comment.
there's a ruler over there. Can you grab a ruler for me? I'm sorry, I needed a ruler. So what we're going to do is, now that we have this on the 45-degree line, and what I've done is I've put one edge of the long end right along the line on the ruler so that I know this is straight. I've put the rest of them right along the 45-degree line, and any second now I'm going to cut here.
Ta-da!
Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to put the ruler right on the line on the mat. So I have it right on the 45-degree line. And you can see now that what I'm going to cut off is pretty minimal. Okay, so I've cut that off. And now I'm going to cut these strips into 2.5-inch strips. So I'll just turn the ruler so that it's on the 2.5-inch line.
Okay, and you're keeping that along that 45.
Yes,
And
it's
then you're
still
just
on.
going 2 inches.
Yeah,
over.
and at
Cool.
this point you can move it off the 45-degree line. You don't need it there anymore because you've got your angle already. So you can.
Oh, right, because the edge.
Mhm. So we're just going to cut a couple of 2.5-inch strips.
I got lucky. I picked a rotary cutter that had a sharp blade. That could have gone 2 ways.
I was really grateful for that, I noticed.
It's like, uh-oh.
One thing to remember as you're doing this is you're working with, once you cut that angle, you're now working with a bias edge. So you want to be careful of those edges and make sure you're pressing carefully and handling them with care. And one of the things that you can do to help control that bias is spray starch. And just start your fabric before or while you're pressing this, pressing your strips at, just spray it with some spray starch to keep it up, keep those lines under control. Now we want to sew these two together, and they're going to come together like this, but obviously we're not going to sew it together that way. We're going to have to put it together like so. Okay, so now we have these two coming together at an angle like this. Okay, and the key to doing this, to getting this correct, because what you want is when you unfold this and press it, you want to make sure that the line is straight between all of these seams. So the way you make that happen is you can always draw a 1/4-inch line right on your fabric, but if you don't want to do that, what you want to do is you want to make sure that when you start sewing, of course I didn't wear something that this would really show up.
You didn't wear your flannel today.
Okay,
There you go.
we're going to use Josh. So what you want to make sure of is that when you start sewing, the needle goes down exactly in that little corner there. And when you get to the end of the line, the needle should end up exactly in that little corner. And if you do that, then your line will be perfectly straight when you open it up and put it all together. So, I think this is it. Okay, so that is going to go on this quilt.
I couldn't see, so I'm just going to see for myself.
So one of the things I've done already is I've put a little lighter border on here because this is a neat thing and I want it to show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a smallish border that's put on right before it that will really highlight, so that this strip set is highlighted and you'll really see it. So I'll put this fabric here on this side and also put a strip of it on the other side so that this angled border really stands out. It will probably even be cut down a little bit more than it is here. So it's a little bit smaller, but this will really show up. When you sew it to your quilt.
That's really cool. That's going to look so good.
When you sew it to your quilt, you don't worry. You want to make sure the bottom angle is right at the end, but for the most part, you just kind of sew it along the edge, just like you normally would. And remember last week, one of the things that we did was we measured the strip through the center of through the center of the quilt, which you're still going to do here. You measure it through the center, then you sew it onto the edge. And remember, you measure through the center, because a quilt typically, when you make a quilt, typically what's going to happen is it's going to be wide on the outside and narrower in the middle. And you want to square up your quilt and make it nice and square. So the way to do that is to measure your border through the center, and then you pin it to the ends and sew it to the ends. And that way it kind of pulls everything together and makes your quilt nice and square.
Voila.
Okay.
That would be a great binding.
You could do this as binding, and that would be fun if you're into that. I worry a little bit about the corners.
You mean using this as binding?
Mhm.
Yeah, it'd look cool.
Yeah, I worry about the corners because I worry about these seams being in the corner. But deal with it.
Make it work. I think
Deal
it'd be
with it.
really cool.
So anyway,
I like that.
that's today's border.
I love it. And yeah, that's right. Round of applause. Georgia says she really likes that technique.
Mhm.
So you're not alone.
Good.
Yeah, I just like the effect that you've got the saw and you're bringing back the angles, you know what I mean? And obviously the fabric again. It's cool. I love learning. That's awesome. Any questions on that? Feel free to yell out and we can answer. Jan, good morning. Linda, good morning. Debbie, good morning. I hate not saying good morning to people. I want to make sure they know we see them. Are we going to do more binding next week? Or borders next week?
Well, next week, actually tomorrow morning, I leave to go to Paducah for the big quilt show.
Ooh.
And so next week, I was thinking of bringing whatever I found that I bought.
Awesome. I'll send you on a trip. You're going to have to go find the Sewing and Vacuum Authority or Quilt Quarters. Actually, I think that's who's doing the booth, and say hello for me.
Okay, I'll
It's my
do
old
that.
stomping ground.
Okay.
So. Cool.
I'll go look for them.
Awesome. I love it. Let's see. Before we jump off, we talked about having this coming soon. So reach out, and we will put up. I'll try to. Tony and I'll make some sort of post letting you guys know what the options are. But personally, I mean, if you want to make this quilt, I would get a kit. Because I think it would just make your life a lot easier. A lot of people like the kits. Don't forget about David and all the other fun stuff. Tula, let's see. I haven't given anything away in a while. How can we give something away?
Well, while you're thinking about that, and if you're a collager person,
Yeah.
this sun and the moon here, those are great things to put in a collage. This is just a great piece of fabric. I love it.
I love the botanical too. And the,
This one here,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
It's
the white
looking at
one
that
too,
thinking-
you can't see it, but the white one has a lot of botanical in the corners.
Oh, this one here.
Mm.
Stop showing me these.
Sorry.
I need to look in the opposite direction.
Jan literally says that. She goes, Joann really, she goes, I hate that there's just more fabric coming in all the time. That's what I got to do. My job is technically to make it difficult for people to leave.
And you do a
getting
great
something.
job of that. Just a great job.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, let's see here. What's a good question? Everybody's been watching so closely.
Last week, a whole steak shop up.
It is. That's not how I'm going to give this away, but you're right. So this is literally the last week of the All Florida Shop Hop. 2 months. And it's been awesome. People ask all the time, has it been so busy? And it's like, it's just been perfectly steady. It's been so cool. And we've met so many new people. I've really enjoyed this. And people are already asking. Absolutely, we'll do it next year. I hope they do it at the same time. I know some people were asking to change it a little bit by a month, but it doesn't matter when it is, we'll do it.
Yeah, it would be nice if it were changed by a month because it was so close to the other one, the first one.
So you would push it out, you mean?
I would maybe make it a month later.
Yeah, I don't know.
I seem to be the only
You've
one.
got snowbirds and, it's, yeah, I don't know. And there's already 2 quilt shows right before it. So I just know, hey, the beginning of the year, let's rock and roll. It's been fun.
Uh-huh.
So I want to give one of these away. So let's do this. If you can tell me the designer of this line, this should be an easy one. You probably know it, but I did say it. Technically, I said it. So the first person that we see that comments the designer of this line, the sun, the moon, and the stars, gets a free friction. I always say it funny. It's friction. I know, but they spell it weird. Pen, and I'll give you the color of or the color or the size or color and the size of your choice. So Tony, pay attention and let me know if somebody answers that. Before we go though, classes. So tomorrow is our monthly Serger Club. We basically discuss all things sergers. It's a free club. It's not a hands-on. They do a show and tell at all of our clubs, and they bring in ideas to inspire you and really to kind of push you in the direction of using your serger for different techniques. So many people own a serger and they don't use it to its fullest capabilities. So it's a really cool club, and it's an awesome group of ladies, and they're making some really cool stuff. So I would encourage you, if you have a serger, even if you're considering purchasing a serger, which you should do because it's National Serger Month, but you should go in and just see what there is, what all you can do with a serger. And that's a really cool club. So
you don't need a serger to come to the club?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
In fact, if you bring it, it will just sit there. So you'll be carrying it for no reason. It's literally a discussion style lecture demo, and then it's a social because you're sharing, and then it's a show and tell, literally a show and tell. So that's really neat. On Wednesday, let me look at my notes. Yeah, Wednesday is our first meeting of our new embroidery club, Hump Day Hoopers. And yes, that's a very clever name. Cindy nailed that one. But it'll be easy to remember. It's on Wednesdays. And I'm really excited about this because I love embroidery. And there's a whole world of embroidery. And people are already asking, what are we going to do? I don't know. Because we haven't met yet. And I know I'm like a broken record, but literally you're club members, so you're going to help us decide what the club does and the direction that we go.
And honestly, there are probably those people out there that need to know exactly what we're going to do. But one of the things that I think is really awesome about this shop is that the classes are geared to the people who are taking them. And so you come in and you come in with other women or whatever, and you'd say, oh, I really want to learn this, or this would be fun, and you kind of figure out together what you want to do, and the class gets geared to you, and it makes it so much fun because you're really doing, instead of doing something that somebody else wants you to do, you're doing what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, the classes are for you guys. It's not for us. It's not technically for the teacher, the educator. It's for you, the students.
Yeah, and most of the educators here know enough that they can go in whatever direction you want to go in. So it works for everybody.
It does. Nobody. The first name starts with a J. I'll give you that. And the last name starts with a Y. Come on, that should be really easy. But okay, so Hump Day Hoopers, that's this Wednesday. Again, it's free. So come in and see us, and let's decide what we want to do. Now, Marie and I especially were talking about for these clubs that are not hands-on, we want to offer hands-on for these clubs. So you're going to learn what to do with your serger, and then some people are going to go, well, can you help me do it? Absolutely, and that is in the works. We're figuring that out. Same thing with the embroidery. I already know people want to learn about embroidering on t-shirts. You know, there's certain stabilizers and techniques that make it easier and it comes out better. So sure, we can talk about it, but then let's do it. So when I say it's not hands-on, it's not, but the meeting is only about 2 hours, I think, roughly. And then we will figure out, again, after we talk to the club members, when we can actually do a hands-on. So people, that's definitely on our radar because it's important doing that stuff together. Okay, paint party Thursday evening. I didn't bring it over here, darn it, but it is painting with Craftsy Carla. It's a really cool sewing machine, and it's just a social. It's a paint party. Come in, have some fun.
It's gonna be a full house.
It's gonna be a full house, yeah. And it's 5:30 to 7:30. So if you work, no excuse. You can come and hang out with us. That's the point. And I'm excited. First paint party.
That'll be fun. I can't wait to hear how it goes.
That's right. Quilting studio is Friday.
But it will not meet this Friday.
Oh, it's not.
No, because I'm not here.
Because you're not here. Well, so, and I think it's still on the calendar. So is your group meeting at all? Well, we could technically.
Yeah. Come on down.
Hey, you know what? It's on the calendar. If you guys want to come, technically we just won't, it won't be Quilting Studio with Joann. It'll be with maybe Tony, or we'll figure that out. But if you signed up, or if you want to still come in and work on a quilt, let's keep that open for people. Because it's on the calendar. So
yeah.
Okay. I forgot. You told me that. Shame on me. Notes.
You're busy.
Notes. No. And then next month starts Joann's new quilt, Swooning.
Yes.
Swooning with Joann. which is, it's so funny because that's the title, but it doesn't sound like a quilt class.
It's like, we're all gonna fall in love.
We're gonna
with
fall in
you.
love with Joann.
Maybe we should get one. You remember back in the Victorian ages, they had those swoon couches.
We'll
Get
get
one
one.
and put it at the end of the.
I can't fit any more furniture. You saw how many trucks
I
showed
did.
up the other day.
I did.
Okay, so I'm excited about that. And then the charity sew is May the 6th. And we're going to be making bibs for warm women. Oh my gosh. Assisting recovering mothers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome organization. Oh, yeah, right. I was like, oof. I practiced that too. But it's really cool. And I love that we're doing something that we haven't done before.
Mm-hmm.
We're always going to do Project Linus and Ryan's Case for Smiles and well, anything. But I'm excited about this one because it's new. And the local group CARE, the ladies are awesome. And so it's going to be a really cool Sewing for Charity party. We don't ask that you bring anything other than your sewing machine if possible and yourself. And they're going to have fabric and kits, and we're just going to crank out as many bibs as humanly possible.
Okay.
Or actually, I take that back. We are looking or accepting donations for flannel for the backing. That is something that they're short on. And I don't have a lot of flannel, if any, here. So I thought maybe we could use some Minky. But anyway, so that is the 6th. That's the first Saturday in May. And then there's a bunch of other classes, but we'll wait till next week to get further in the calendar. Go to cutupandsew.com, click on the classes, and you can see all of them. So we're really trying to listen to what people want and then obviously offer what we know we need, the beginner sewing. And Tony's going to start a really cool Quilting for Dummies happy hour, right? Because
Yes.
we got to keep the happy hour in there for you. But it's going to be like a 10-week
10 sessions.
10 session. And the idea is each session you'll come in and learn a different
Part of the process.
part of the process. And at the end of it, you can officially say, I know how to make a quilt. So it turns into an entire beginner quilt class, which is
Awesome.
really cool in little small sections, which
Mhm.
actually is great because you can focus on
On
each
that.
thing.
Mhm.
So that's cool. And that'll be on the calendar if it's not already.
It'll be on later today.
It'll be on later today.
You're going to be busy today
Yeah.
getting that computer all together.
All right, I think I'm done. It says here, sewing machine sale, cabinet sales. So I'm supposed to say that.
Okay.
Nobody? I made it up, so I was joking. Did anybody say it?
No, Georgia's got on late.
I got on too late. Georgia, did anybody answer it? Okay, so what I had said was if you can name the designer of this quilt, this quilt, but also this fabric collection, it's another hint, his name starts with a J, last name starts with a Y. It's all right, you can go back and watch it, and then still we'll pay attention. The first person that comments the correct answer will win a friction pen of their size and color.
Okay.
And that's it. You guys have an amazing week. Last week to Shop Pop, come in. We got crazy sales. And I was joking, but we mentioned sewing machine sales and cabinet sales because there's a lot of them right now. And especially for the last week of the Shop Pop,
Mhm.
we're going super low on everything that we can. So
Yeah.
it's exciting.
I was going to mention the cabinets that you had brought in the other day.
I'm going to do a whole unveiling, a
Unveiling.
reveal for that. But yes, we have some amazing new cabinets.
Yeah, they're pretty beautiful.
They're very beautiful.
Mhm.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. That's it. You guys have an amazing day, an amazing week.
Bye. See you next week.
The sun, the moon, and the